Let's create ephemera together for our planner. Hi everyone, Patty here. Last video we cut, pasted together, making our planner pages from Winter Shadow Digital Kit. You can find that kit on my Etsy shop with the link in the description. You can use whatever planner kit pages you want. I will be demonstrating with this kit and I will be working in my planner for 2025. I have one blank planner in my Etsy shop for sale that is very similar to the one I will be working in. The smaller pages may differ, but we can work on those different pages as we go along each month. Let's make a belly band from one of the collage pages. The collage page has 3 flowers down one side that will fit nicely for a belly band. Trim it away from the rest of the collage page and find a piece of cardstock that you can use to back the belly band with. You could print the collage pages onto heavy cardstock, but I printed all of my sheets on 28-pound copy paper, and I will back them with a tan or light brown cardstock. For supplies, get out your paste of your favorite glue, some lace, and maybe some colored cheesecloth. I also use clamps or binder clips to hold things together while they dry. You could also use a piece of wax paper over your piece and put it under a heavy book to dry flat. I was given some of this lace and it has a nice edge on it that will look great down the side of this belly band. Figure out where you want to put the lace and cut 2 pieces the same size and paste it to the belly band back side. Now paste the laced belly band to the light brown cardstock. Make sure your lace is straight when you flip it over and tuck any pieces up under the belly band or pull some spots of the lace out so it's nice and straight. My piece of light brown cardstock is 7.5 inches long and is too long for I want to put it. Dab off any excess paste. Decide which page you want to put your belly band onto. I additioned several pages and decided on this page, or do I? I turned the page over and put it on the small size green page. The color of this small page has some brown on it, and I wish I would have added a little white gesso to it to hit that green down a bit. Lessons learned, and next time I'll have my gesso out for my supplies. Add glue to the top and bottom, leaving the band with no glue, so we can add a journaling card later to the band. My journaling card will have to be a good size so I don't see all that green on the small size page. Get your collage page out and let's cut some journaling cards. You may have already done this step in the last video, so I will speed up this process. We are ready to cover an envelope. The envelope needs to be cut at the spine to be able to open the flap portion of the envelope. I then cut a little diagonally to make it look like the other side of the envelope and round the edge of the flap. If you're covering your envelope completely with some of your digitals, you don't need to cut this diagonally and round the edge till after you have pasted your page onto it. Decide which paper you want to use to cover the envelope. You will see the pages below and above the envelope because the envelope is smaller, and so you'll want to put it on a page that will contrast nicely with your other pages. I don't measure, I just put the paper to the envelope and mark where I need to cut for the bottom, and when we turn the envelope over, the piece will be longer so we can flip it over the flap. I did get the ruler out, and it will be about 3 3 3/4 inches high. Paste your pieces onto the envelope. This is a case of don't do like I do, but do like I tell you. Turn your envelope to the other side and cut your piece to be larger and fold over the flap so it's all one piece. I ended up trying to trim the flap that I had cut separately and cut the flap off the envelope. I don't think I got that moment on film, which is probably good because I probably said a few things that I shouldn't have, but I had to repair it with some tape that I have colored with alcohol inks and stamped onto it. I show how to make this in a video for December 2024, week 1. I will list in the description. Trim off any excess, being careful you don't cut into your envelope. Ink all of your edges as you go to get rid of any stark white edges. My corner rounder could hardly go through all of these layers, but I was determined to have a rounded edge on my flap. This envelope has a glassine opening, so you'll be able to see through it into the envelope, whatever you put into it. So this side, I did the same by adding a piece of paper to the side that the flap opens up onto. I put a piece of pretty digital into the open envelope to be able to see what will look good in the envelope. Somehow that didn't get on film either. If you want to watch any of my videos last year that I call Plan With Me, you know I've moved into a tiny house and my videoing equipment is still not all put together in the best manner. So bear with me and hopefully I'll get this squared away soon. I line up the digital paper to the envelope and mark where the opening is of the envelope. I will cut this rectangle out and fit this piece onto this side of the envelope. Glue together your cutout for the opening of the envelope to fit nicely. And you have envelopes that will be great for adding extra tidbits into. When I'm done, I went back and added leftover fussy cut flowers into one of the envelopes. glue a piece of digital to the small size paper on the other side of this green page. Oh, I wish I would have put some gesso on that and toned down that green page, or just cover it with some of the digitals. In the end, I add a large enough journaling card that you don't see much of that green. I use wax paper or parchment paper to put between the pages after I've glued something to make sure they don't stick together where I might have gotten some excess glue. Let's make a large flower tuck spot. Using one of the large flowers that we have already fussy cut out and inked around the red around the edges, I found another piece of lace that I want to add to the bottom portion of the flower. I cut out a piece of the light brown cardstock to back the flower with and make the tuck spot stronger. I glued the top portion of the flower to the light brown cardstock, leaving the bottom open to tuck the lace around the bottom portion of the flower. I trimmed the light brown cardstock to match the flower shape. Put glue around the bottom portion of the flower and add your lace, tucking it up under the flower and giving it a puckered look or gathered fluffy bottom edge. Clamp down with some clamps or put under a book and let dry. For the front page, let's add a tab that we can put the month onto and decorate for our first page. I fold a leftover piece of the digital that's about 2 inches by 4 inches. I fold that piece in half so the 2 inches now 1 inch wide. I cut onto the piece to make a tab look. You could use a file folder as a template and get a nice tab, but I cut my piece and then flipped that piece over to cut the other side the same depth into the tab, just like we do when we are making tags and we want the corner to be the same on both sides by using the piece we cut off as a template. Rounding the corners as I cut the tab. Let's decorate the tab using some more lace. I don't use a lot of lace in my journals, but for some reason this digital lends itself to using a little lace, and I really like it. Open up the tab and add glue down both edges of the tab to add the lace. Flip it over and add a few of the small flowers we have fussy cut out and are ready to decorate with. I have a freebie for you with the months and a scroll pattern, along with the days of the week. Cut around the month and ink around the edges to add it to your tab. I had to trim a little of the lace from around the tab portion of the tab, as this lace has a large border. Arrange onto your page in the location you want. I'm starting with this tab at the bottom of the page, and then next month I will make a tab that will be a little higher up the page, and they will stagger down the pages all year. Glue your month onto the tab. A few more flowers and you have a gorgeous tab for our first month. Turn the page over and add a few more flowers onto this side of the page to decorate the tab. Leave the flowers overlapping them and putting them side by side to make a pleasing cluster of flowers. Wipe off any excess glue and put a piece of wax paper or parchment paper between the pages to keep them from sticking while they dry. We're ready to make some pockets. I add a couple pockets onto pages for my to-do list. Pick which pages you want to add your pockets to and where you'll be adding your journaling to-do list for each week. Add a half circle cut to the top of your pocket so you can easily pull out your to-do list each week. I'm using a 1-inch circle punch. Center your circle punch on the top of your pocket and cut down into the pocket just to make a half circle or even maybe like a fourth of a circle. Okay, let's make a journaling card with some lace. I have this piece left from my digitals that is just perfect to fit under my belly band and cover up some of that green on that page. I start adding lace to the edge by putting a bead of glue down one side of the journal card. When you come to the corner, you'll want to give it a mitered edge to give you a piece, to give your piece a finished look. When you get to the corner, fold the lace into a 45-degree angle, and then fold back onto itself to make the corner edge. It's hard to see the white on white, but you will be happy with the look when you get the angle correct. Add your glue and hold it down to get it to adhere before going to the next corner, or add clamps to hold down. Keep going around all 4 corners with this mitered edge with the lace. Add a piece of light brown cardstock to the back of the journaling card and put under a heavy book to dry flat or add clamps. When I add the clamps, it gave the journaling card a puffy feel as the glue didn't adhere to the center as well, using the clamps only around the edge. So if you want the card to be flat, put under a heavy book with a piece of wax paper over the top so it doesn't stick to anything while drying. Now I want to cut a couple of the words out from my freebie of monthlies that says notes and important. I will make a little tab to pull out for a journaling card with. Use some of your scrap pieces and cut a small rectangle to fit your journaling card. This piece I used has the words postcard on it, and the words notes and important fit right under it nicely. Glue this tab to the top of your journal card and add your words. I use my habit tracker and step counter every day, so I want to add a couple flowers to this page so I can find it right off and flip to it. The flowers are not printed in a mirror image, so they don't match perfectly, but I put a tiny piece of colored cheesecloth between them and inked around the edges, and you would never tell they don't match perfectly. Glue this to your page along one edge. We are just about finished, and we can add all of our pieces to our pockets and belly bands for the month of January. I add a few more tabs or flowers to the tops of journaling cards. They don't all need to have words, it just makes it easier to pull them out of the pockets with a little tab. Add a little cheesecloth between the flowers on some of the tabs and glue your second flower over the top of the cheesecloth. A few more tabs to the tops of the journaling cards and we're ready for January. Have a great month, and we'll see you next month, because I can't wait to show you February's digital that I'm coming up with. Think blues and beautiful gold. Bye now.